pickdogs.com, and it is Monday, January 23rd, 2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. NFL divisional playoff round is complete. Got 3 more games left in the NFL season. They're going to stretch it out over a month. And yeah, milk it for everything that it's worth. Chris, any notes from the games? 4 games this past weekend, and I think we have a clear favorite here. What do you got?
Yeah, I've just been impressed with a lot of the quarterback play, for the majority of the division round. Joe Burrow's got that dog in him, man. I'll tell you, watching just how
and the Bengals just look like a lock, right? I mean, they just look like a lock.
It was exactly what you said. It just looked like if they had continued that game in the regular season, that it just would have been all
100
Cincinnati.
to nothing. It would have been 100.
And it just,
the
Buffalo
Bills
just had no answers.
They got every call. They got everything went their way. Everything went their way. They got the weather they wanted. They got everything. And they got stomped. It was like not even, it was never competitive, never close, never a nervous moment. It was start to finish.
The one drive that I remember, it was in the third quarter, and Tony Romo said, Buffalo's got to do something to get a stop here. And you just kept seeing Cincinnati get those 10-yard plays, chunk plays, every single first and second down, and Buffalo just had no answer. And it was just,
no one's going to beat them. No one's going to beat them. No one's going to beat the Bengals. They play the Chiefs now. They beat them twice the last 2 times they played them. They're going to beat them again. Beat them this year in Cincinnati. They beat them last year in Kansas City. I don't think so. And the offensive line for the Bengals looked better than ever.
Yeah. I would not have known that there were 3 guys missing on that line yesterday, or 3 starters at least missing.
The backups might have been better.
Next man up, and they definitely stepped up.
Rod, how about the other game, San Francisco and Dallas? I thought Dallas had so many chances and just couldn't do it.
They had definitely had the chances.
Could not
throw an interception. Timely bad time. So
there's never a good time for an interception, but it's
never a good time for an interception. But when you're going in to score a touchdown, that's just heartbreaking. It's deflating. You deflates your team, and then. The second half, it just looked like San Francisco running the ball just took over. Their offensive line just took over and imposed their will and just ran right over Dallas in the second half.
I don't know if they ran right over them. I mean, they won by a touchdown at home, and they scored 1 touchdown, right? So
yeah, they scored the only touchdown.
Yeah, they scored the only touchdown. So. Wasn't so I wouldn't call it.
But it wasn't like a dominant. We whooped them 48-0.
I mean, Dallas had a chance. They had the last possession to tie it up. I mean, they had a chance there.
Did you feel like they had the chance though? Did you feel like that? I didn't feel any miracle coming at the end there.
I thought they had a chance.
Oh, they definitely had a chance. Yes, maybe a 1.5% chance. That trickery play that they were going to try to do at the end there, that definitely got stopped instantly. That guy just was like, wham, this game's over. It could be a pretty good game, 49ers and Eagles. I think it'll be a pretty good one.
I don't see it that way, but generally championship games are not good games. But we'll see how these pan out. Generally, this round of the playoffs is the better games, and most of these games were not good. And then the championship games are generally one-sided, very one-sided. But we'll see how it goes. Anyways, we've got NBA today. Got college basketball. I don't know if there's hockey. Not.
Few hockey.
Well, Fewer the better. That's the old saying goes, right? We've got the Pistons and the Bucks, the Magic and the Celtics, the Bulls and the Hawks, Rockets, Timberwolves. Chris?
A couple I like here. I like the Magic plus the points against the Celtics. We've already seen the Magic. They went out on the road and beat the Celtics twice in Boston. The road teams won all 3 meetings this season, but I think at home, I think the Celtics could win this game. But I think the Magic could cover, similar to what we saw the first time these teams met in Orlando. I think it was a 6-point win for the Celtics. I think we could see something similar here. That the Magic maybe the healthiest they've been all season. So I'll take the Magic plus the points there. I'm going to take the Timberwolves laying the points against Houston. Just head to head, they've owned Houston over the past couple of years. The last 7 meetings, Minnesota's all won. They would have all covered this line at 5.5. So I can take Minnesota in that one.
Rod?
And these ones, the first one I like the under between the Bucks and Detroit. I think 233.5 is just way too many points to be getting up and over. This Detroit team's struggling to get 110 points a game. So and this Bucks defense will hold them down. So I like the under there as you look head to head. It's 5-1 to the under the last 6 meetings between these two teams, including recently earlier this season in November. It was 118.91. I got it well under the total of what they got, 233.5 in this one. I think the under Bucks in Detroit. And I agree. I like the Magic plus the points against the Celtics. Magic 5-0 ATS at home versus a team with a winning record. And Boston 1-4 ATS the last 5 trips into Orlando. I think Orlando plus the points in that one. The 2 I like out of those 4.
Charlotte against the Jazz, Blazers against the Spurs, Kings against the Grizzlies. Chris?
Yeah, I like the under 245.5 between the Kings and Grizzlies. I know this is probably going to be a bit of a higher scoring game, but I just think 245.5. I think it's just too far gone. I think this one gets closer to the high 230s. But like I said, into the 240s just feels a little bit high for me. I do lean towards Memphis in that game. I know Sacramento has played the better ball at home, but looks like we'll see Ja Morant in this game. I didn't see him yesterday, and I think that was a big reason why that Memphis ended up losing that game on the road to Phoenix. On the back-to-back, it can be a little bit tough, but I still think Memphis gets the win in that one. So give me Memphis with a lean towards the under as well.
Right.
And for me, I like the Spurs here, plus the points against Portland. Portland had a nice big lead yesterday, and they just folded like a cheap tent. And, their last 10 games, only 2-8 against that number. And the Spurs playing pretty good, 7-3 against the number in their last 10. I like the Spurs here, plus the points. They got a shot to win it outright, too, I think, the way Portland played yesterday. Tough spot here on the back-to-back. I don't think the Spurs plus the points in that one.
I like the Jazz against the Hornets. I like fading the Hornets. It's like there's not a good team. Jazz have been hit and miss all season, but at home they've been more hit than miss. And the Hornets, they've been covering the spread on the road, but not winning games. They're getting a generous number here, but I don't think it's generous enough. I like the Jazz. Same thing I said in my video. Anyways, go to the next set. We go to the NHL. Please be no games. Rangers, Panthers, Maple Leafs, Islanders, Stars, Sabres, and Calgary versus Columbus. I like the Islanders parlayed up with Columbus. Chris?
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a parlay coming into this segment, but I'll stick with the Buffalo Sabres plus the 1.5 against Dallas. Buffalo just playing really well on the road right now, and Dallas, they are the better team at home, but I think Buffalo can keep this one a 1-goal game. A lot of the recent meetings have been close between these two, so I'll take Buffalo plus the 1.5. I think they do enough to keep this one maybe a 3-2 or 4-3 kind of game. And I'll take the Leafs in regulation. I know they looked bad against Montreal, but again, they always struggle against Montreal. This Islanders team has lost 8 of their last 9 games. I think Toronto can get a bounce back here, so I'll take the Leafs in regulation.
And for me, I like the under between Buffalo and Dallas. You look, odds are going to get a start in this one. He had 2 shutouts last week. Dallas actually had 3 shutouts last week and a loss to the Sharks. Just this weird, odd loss to the Sharks. Dallas been playing pretty good hockey. Like the under there, under 6.5 in that one. And I like Columbus plus the 1.5 against Calgary. I think it's a 1-goal game either way. If Columbus doesn't outright Calgary again, Johnny Gaudreau's return to Calgary. I think it's a close game. Columbus plus the 1.5 in that one.
College basketball. Northwestern Wisconsin, Western Illinois, North Dakota, Detroit, Oakland, Virginia Tech, Duke, Hartford, Penn, Coastal, Chicago State, BU, Colgate. Chris?
Yeah, I like BU plus the points here against Colgate. I know this line has shot up from 4.5 to 7.5, but Colgate just hasn't been winning games by sizable numbers. They failed to cover their last 5 games. Granted, 4 of those were as double-digit favorites, but they haven't won any of those 5 games by more than 7 points. Excuse me, 6 points. I think Boston U, they only lost the first meeting by 6. I think they can keep it to a similar margin here. So take Boston U plus the points in that one. And yeah, it's the only one I like in this time slot.
Rod?
And for me, no, I like this time slot. I like Detroit here over Oakland. Detroit Mercer at home, 5-2 on the season. They play their best hoops at home, and just don't trust his Oakland team on the road. 3-6 on the road, 4-5 against the number. That number's dropped. I like it better now at the 3.5 than the 5.5. I think everybody's humped up on the Oakland, so I'm going to think Detroit lay the 3.5. I think they easily cover that against Oakland in those ones.
Everyone's on Oakland because they've won 7 years in a row at Detroit. They own them. I like Oakland on the money line in that game. It's dropping like crazy. I like Wisconsin against Northwestern as well. Northwestern, this is a rescheduled game, so we got no video on this thing. Unless Chris wants to do one after. But since we don't have any pick on that game, I like Wisconsin there. North Carolina Central, Maryland East Shore, and Kansas, Baylor, Nevada, New Mexico. Chris, any of this SWAC and it's all SWAC, isn't it? It's all SWAC and MEAC.
MEAC, yeah.
Oh, MEAC.
This is the Monday cards that we've been waiting for, the MEAC and the SWAC. But I'll indulge in some MEAC action. I'm going to take a Howard I land the 8 points against Coppin State. Coppin State's won 5 meetings in a row with Howard, but Coppin State's been getting their butts kicked by the top end half of the MEAC pretty much all season long, and I don't expect Howard to be any different. I think Howard's playing the better ball right now, so I'm going to take Howard in that one. And I'm going to take Kansas plus the 2 against Baylor. Usually when Kansas gets their butts kicked, they bounce back. They're 10-0 against the spread in their last 10 games following a loss by 20 or more points. I think it's going to be a statement game for Baylor if they can get the win here, but I think Kansas just going to want to bounce back in this one. It's going to be a tough road environment, but I think Kansas can't handle their 3-1 straight up and against the spread on the road this season. So I'll take Kansas plus the points there.
Rod?
And for me, I'm going to take Arkansas Pine Bluff plus the points against Grambling. You look at Grambling hasn't been playing so good lately. 0-4 ATS their last 4 games. So Arkansas Pine Bluff, the Golden Lions, are 5-0 ATS in their last 5. And the home team in the series, 6-1 ATS the last 7 meetings between these two. I'm going to go with Arkansas Pine Bluff plus the points. Be the home dog in that one. And I'm going to go with Baylor. Kansas did not look good last time out, and I know they were at home, and now they're on the road. I know Kansas loves to bounce back. I've seen a stat they were like 10-0 ATS following a loss. I just don't see it. I'm going to take Baylor here. I think Baylor's starting to turn it on and add wins together in this low spread. I'm going to go with Baylor in this one.
I'm going to take Alabama A&M against Prairie View A&M. I just like the way they shoot the 3. I think that that should be the difference maker, especially at home. This is a lousy Prairie View team. Romanelli should be ashamed of himself wearing that hat. going to have to switch. He's going to have to get himself an Alabama A&M hat after tonight. Parlay time. Quick show. I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with the Orlando Magic. Let's go with Boston U. And we'll go with the... we'll go with Howard laying the points.
Rod?
We go with the Spurs plus the points. We're going to take the Dallas Stars and Buffalo under the total, and we're going to take Arkansas Pine Bluff plus the points.
Taking the Islanders, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Oakland all money line. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. Quick show. We'll see you tomorrow. Probably be changing to the new format hopefully next week.